Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, man. So before I get into this heavyweight stuff, man, my prayers go out to the Spence family. I seen the news early this morning. I haven't seen that there's some video footage that has surfaced of the crash, and I couldn't even bring myself to even watch that footage, man. So I know his family's going through a lot of emotional stuff right now, man. So hopefully, spiritually, they can hold it together, man. And prayers go out to the Spence family, man. Very sad news from what I'm hearing that he will be able to make a full recovery. And I'm not even talking about full recovery for boxing. I'm just talking about just his life, man. And prayers to go out to the Spence family and all the close, friends and family of that situation, and even all the fans, man, that pulling for Errol Spence, man. Um, Sad news this morning. All right. So wanted to start off by saying that. All right. Jay Jerk was good, man. Let me get to this heavyweight stuff. All right. I got a few things I want to talk about here, man. First, let me start off with Chisora and Price. All right. So I just seen the Price is the one that's going to fill in for that fight. And the guys that, Eddie Hearn came out and said had a chance of getting a fight, Hunter, Povetkin. Although he did say he's trying to make Hunter versus Povetkin for the undercard for AJ versus Ruiz, I would still like that to go down. But it wasn't any of those guys. It was Chisora, and I think it will be a big domestic fight. The UK love to support their own, regardless of the fight. So I think it's gonna be entertaining. The first few rounds, I see Chisora stopping Price in that fight. All right. I did pick against Price in the Cash Ali fight. I thought that just once you start mixing it up with Price, he'll either get knocked out or he'll find a way out the fight, like I thought he did in the Kuzman fight. All right. But if there's one thing that David Price does have left, it's heavy hands. And Chisora is there to be hit. He's not a defensive maestro. You know what I mean? He's not gonna give you the Pernell Whitaker effect. He's gonna come straight to you, guards up, high guard, ready to bang. All right. So maybe Price can play a little bit off the back foot, not move around like he's Larry Holmes, not that he has the ability to, but not backing up, moving away, but just half step back, then try to find an opening for the big right hand while using the jab, whether he's probing or pawing with it, whatever he has to do with his jab to create an opening on Chisora, although he's there to be hit, but to find a clean opening to land big right hands. All right. But I see Chisora pretty much eating those. And sooner or later, he's going to wear Price down, probably target the body. Then he's going to finish his combinations upstairs. And I think it'll be something overhand upstairs that finishes David Price. I could be wrong. We will see. I think it'll be an entertaining fight nonetheless. All right. Let me see who just joined. So South, what it do? Scott 70, what's up? King Strick was good. Marquise Johnson was good. All right. So got to that. Chisora versus Price. All right. I see Kubrat Pulev is going to be fighting Rydell Booker. Now, Rydell Booker some of you remember him from the fight he had on the Best Damn Sports show way back in the day when he fought James Toney, damn near like 20 years ago, damn near. It was a long time ago. Then he did his little prison stint. He got out, like a couple years ago, a year ago, something like that. Had a few journeyman level fights. And then he fought the undefeated prospect slash trying to make contender Jermaine Franklin. And actually fought him pretty tough, man. Pretty crafty guy, Rydell Booker is. I see Pulev winning this fight. I just think he has more left. Although Booker is crafty, does know how to survive, he can box. It's just, when you look at this fight on paper, it's just, it comes across if it's just perceived that Pulev is going to win this fight. So I'm a favorite Pulev in this fight. Will it shock me if Booker took him the distance? No, because he knows how to survive. The dude knows how to box. He was a good amateur. You know what I mean? But he never was the biggest heavyweight or the strongest heavyweight or anything like that. Very solid, good skill level. All right. But I see Pulev winning that fight. But it's starting to come across like Pulev is trying to do everything in his power to preserve this IBF mandatory shot. Now, I'll give him the fight against Huey Fury. That's a good fight. A lot of people thought Huey might have been able to pull that one off. But the fights against a very old, although the last thing to go is your power, but a very old Samuel Peter, a war-torn Kevin Johnson, and even the Bogdan Dinu fight. Dinu was coming off the loss to getting stopped by Miller. Some of these fights, man, it just look like he's just trying to preserve his position. All right. Now, business-wise, if I was on his team, yeah, I guess that's a good thing for them to do. Stay active, get some rounds, but go against guys that you're perceived to be, the huge favorite against. All right. But that's what Pulev seems to be doing, in my opinion. All right. So he's going to be active, but it's going to be against Rydell Booker. Like I said, wouldn't surprise me if Booker took him some rounds and made it difficult because he knows how to fight. You know what I mean? Also, tomorrow you got Vlad Sarenko, 12-0 undefeated prospect. Now he is trained by James Ali Bashir. I haven't seen that. Man, there's a lot of stuff that's been happening, man, over the last week and a half since I made a video, man. Uh, Another crazy situation that went on with that, with the or somebody's in Clarissa Shields' team attacked him at the, I believe it was the weigh-in. You know what I mean? Some words were going back and forth. He was talking shit. They were talking shit. To me, it's just shit talking, man. And it seems as if whoever in part of her team or whatever, or family or whoever it was, uh, they took it to heart and they went to go deal with it physically. You know what I mean? Which I think is bullshit. It's just shit talking. We gonna whoop your ass. Oh, we gonna whoop your ass. Fuck you. Nah, fuck you. You do that, you get the fight. The fight's over with. You good. You know what I mean? This is a profession, man. But and maybe some people deem that as unprofessional, but it's just shit talking. They got to get in there and fight anyways. Let them fight it out. You know what I mean? But anyways, I know James Lee Bashir was training Sarenko, so going to be interesting to see Sarenko's approach to this fight that he has coming up with Ivan Di Berardino. Di Berardino is a Italian fighter, so I expect Sarenko to win the fight. But I just want just kind of curious to see how things going to work out in the corner if this happens to go a few rounds. You know what I mean? But then also tomorrow you got my man Cassius Chaney, who's 16-0, taking on Santana Salgado. Ironically, Salgado's last fight is against a guy I'm going to bring up in the video, Chaz Witherspoon. But Salgado is 28-7. He has 22 knockouts. He's a shorter guy. He's a Colombian fighter, man. You know about them Colombians. They have heavy hands at the very least. He's a short guy, 5'11", spent some time at cruiserweight. I believe he spent some time at cruiserweight, but I know he lost to Chaz Witherspoon, lost to Tyrone Spong. He wants to get close. He wants to bang. And either he's going to get knocked out or he's going to try knocking you out. I see Cassius using his size, his height, his jab. He's coming off a first round knockout against Joel Cotto. So I expect Cash Chaney to win this fight. All right. Then I want to see Cassius, man. He's approaching that. If he wins this fight, which I think he will, be approaching 17-0. Then I would like to see him fight a Jermaine Franklin or something like that, or at least a Marius Wack. I think it's time for Cassius to, if he can get a fight set up against that type of level of guy, either a guy that's been in some title eliminators or probably competed for a world title, or go against a guy who is kind of on the same plane as him, is probably undefeated, trying to break their way through. I would love to see in one of those fights, a Junior Fa, somebody like that, Zhang Jili, something like that, man. All right. So that will be taking place tomorrow. Both those guys will be in action, Vlad Sarenko and Cassius Chaney. Okay. Now let's get to Chaz Witherspoon. His last fight was against the guy that Chaney's going to fight, Santana Salgado. Wow, Witherspoon, man. Now over the last 10 years, man, he's been taking a year off. A year off here, 2 years here, a year off here, a year there. He's been in that type of bag, you know what I mean? He's been in there with Tony Thompsons and the Chris Ariolos and the Seth Mitchells and guys like that. Um, Now Tyrone Spong failed his VADA test, so he got scrapped from the fight with Usyk. Uh, I expect Usyk to win this fight. Okay, now Witherspoon's taking this fight on 4 days' notice. He's the type of guy. He's a big, heavy. Well, he's 6'4", about 230 pounds. Still pretty decent, good weight for his age. I think he's approaching four. I think he's like 38, 39. Um, he wants to box though. He wants to box a little bit, move when he has to, that type of thing. But in a fight, and he has heavy hands. But a fight like this, I think he needs to be the aggressor. If you're going to go out, don't go out on the back foot against a guy moving up from cruiserweight. Come forward, let your hands go, man. Just come forward and let your hands go. That's to me, and I heard Witherspoon say in an interview that telling Usyk that this is heavyweight and it's different. Well, you got to show him that it's different by letting your hands go and make it punches count. Now you're going to miss. Usyk's going to counter you. He's going to try to pepper you. But to me, man, just get into a continuity of just throwing power shots and come behind your jab. Try to aim for don't aim for his head too much because he's going to try to slip and weave and make you miss, and he will. He may tire you out and start catching you and then start to wear you out. I think target the torso area with the jab and try to fight a home for right hands and left hooks and rough them up on the inside. Show them that you're the bigger man. You know what I mean? Fight like the bigger man. Don't go in there trying to fight off the back foot. You know what I mean? I just don't. You can't get walked down by Usyk. That's the last thing that you want to do is let him walk you down. All right. Now we've been over this a million trillion times, especially on my channel. I made a video December 29th, 2015. The name of the video is Alexander Usyk fighting at heavyweight question mark. This is 4 years ago. All right. So I've been saying that I think Usyk is going to make. I actually listened to the video again today, but in the video I was saying Usyk sooner or later is going to make some noise at heavyweight. So me talking about Usyk as a heavyweight isn't just me pulling him out the sky, trying to create this guy to do well at heavyweight. I've been talking about Usyk moving up to heavyweight one day. Why was I talking about it? Because he fought at super heavyweight, which is heavyweight in the amateurs, and a lot of tournaments. He's beat guys like Junior Fa, Joe Joyce. The list goes on in the World Series of Boxing. All right. And I think he can use a lot of what he was using in those fights at heavyweight division. He's going to be naturally the quicker guy than some of these heavyweights. Quicker meaning defensively, with his upper body movement, his head movement, his hand speed, and his feet and his legs. All right. Is he going to be the most powerful guy? No. Is he going to have the longest reach? No. Is he going to be the most physical guy? No. But he has a very good skill set, and some of this shit that he has mastered and skill is unorthodox. You know what I mean? So he has mastered an unorthodox style. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say I've never seen the type of shit before, but he has mastered it. You know what I mean? So I see him using, angles, and I just see him beating Chaz Witherspoon. I think Witherspoon's just a little bit too slow, a little bit too plodding and predictable for a guy like Usyk. All right, so I see Usyk winning this fight. Now let me touch on Usyk wanting Wilder again. Usyk came out, I believe it was 2 years ago, when he came out and said that his plan is to move up to heavyweight in 2 to 3 years. Well, it's 2019. So his plan went as how he wanted it to go. You know what I mean? To go undisputed at cruiserweight, which he accomplished. Him, Evander Holyfield, and O'Neal Bell, he's the third person to become undisputed at cruiserweight. The first person in the four belt era, meaning the WBC, WBO, IBF, in WBA. He's the first to do it in the four belt era when they changed the criteria to four belts, but he's the third cruiserweight in history to go undisputed. All right. So he did that. He's went against some heavy-handed guys at cruiserweight. Gassiev, who has moved up to heavyweight. His last fight, though, was a year ago against Tony Bellew. So close to a year since he's been in the ring. He's had a alleged injury. I know the fight with Takum was talked about, then that got took away. Then the fight with Spung failed the test. Now he's fighting Chaz Witherspoon. All right. But as far as him and Wilder, I think he can have some success. I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, shit goes 1 or 2 rounds and it's over with." It's like, I'm not, nah, bro. If Arthur Spilka from the southpaw position, who likes to dart in and out, likes to use, head movement, bend at the waist a little bit, dart in and out with jabs and quick 1-2s, and if he can do that, I think Usyk can do that and some. Now, how long would that last? And when he tastes the right hand, what will his body do? Will his body start doing the Harlem Shake and the moonwalk? will he nose plant into the canvas after a big right hand? I will put my money on that he would. Also in that video I made in 2015, I said, hey, I think this guy has a legit chance of holding a heavyweight strap at one point. It's 2015 now. This was a month after Tyson Fury beat Klitschko, and I was saying this. All right, so I'm not just drawing this shit out the blue. You know what I mean? I've seen this for a while. Now, I didn't say he's going to beat everybody. Now, having some success and making noise is different than I think he just dominate the division. No, I think there's some guys that he could beat, especially guys that are closer to his dimensions and size as far as reach, height, like a guy like Joseph Parker. Those type of guys who are kind of close in, like I said, his dimensions and size. All right, but guys like Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, they can have that reach. They can kind of negate his movement by making him overextend on punches or taking a step or two frontward or front or back that he normally wouldn't take against certain guys. I think just stylistically it could just be difficult for him. And fighting Deontay Wilder from that long distance, a long distance to where you're not going to be able to get off, but Wilder can. Literally, the dude can punch you from across the ring. Literally. I've seen Wilder take like a step and a half and literally go from the red corner to the blue corner. You dig what I'm saying? And touch guys. All right. Fury, when he gets on the instant, I always say Fury gets underappreciated with his physicality when he starts to grab and hold and mug and put his weight on you. He can do that very effectively when he wants to do it. You know what I mean? This is a guy that I seen overpower Klitschko in the clinch, and it's hard to do that. You know what I mean? So I just think some guys give him some style problems, man. And then how will he deal with the pressure fighters of the heavyweight, like a Konowski, a guy that's willing to take 50 punches just to land his five? Not to say that's the best, not to say that that's the way that I would have my guy, if I was training a dude, go about getting to his opponent. But what about guys like that? How would he be able to deal with that? I know you're going to say, well, he fought Gassiev. Yeah, but Gassiev put the high guard up and tried to wait until Usyk got off and then come out his shell and throw. That's the wrong thing to do against Usyk, because once he gets off, he's out of there. Now you see me, now you don't. You know what I mean? He's on his David Copperfield, you know what I mean, Copperfield Blaine type shit. You know what I mean? Magic tricks. Now you see me, now you don't. All right. So I think he needs to stay. Well, look, if he fights Wilder, I think he'll have some success for a couple rounds. And once he starts to get touched, and how will he deal with Wilder's jab? Man, Wilder has a good, nice snapping jab. I think that might, if Wilder come out on that jab and is snapping, he's keeping Usyk at bay, he might not even have success early, especially if he can't deal with that jab. That's one of the hardest punches to deal with. You know what I mean? Now, Wilder comes out head hunting. Wilder has shown that if he goes to head hunting, he can miss. You can catch him. Why and how do I know that? Against Tyson Fury. Artur Spilka made it a little bit difficult here and there. You know what I mean? But eventually, Wilder catches up to you, man. And he has power from round 1 to round 12. That's one of the unique things about Wilder's power. He doesn't fade. You know, some power punching guys, they're front runners. The first 4 or 5 rounds got a lot of power, both hands. But then round 8, round 9, 10, 11, the power kind of fades. Wilder power is still there. Frightening. You dig what I'm saying? But that's what I think about Usyk and Wilder. All right. Also this month, you got Petar Malas, undefeated prospect. He's beat Kevin Johnson, guys like that. He is a Croatian fighter. I want to see him and Filip Hrgovic get it on. I've heard Petar Malas talk about it. They're both very young dudes in their early 20s, man. So I would like to see Petar Malas versus Filip Hrgovic one day. But Malas will be in action later on this month. So will Martin Bakoli Alunga. He's bounced back since the Hunter loss, knocked out Yotoli Pereira, and I believe he beat Marius Wack as well. All right, but he will also be in action October 19th. So I will be going over those fights probably in another video highlighting those fights. All right. Also, you have Darmani Rock will be in action this month as well. He'll be taking on Marenzo Smith. Marenzo Smith, by the time I seen him in the ring, I actually missed the fight. I could have caught him last year at the Staples Center versus Chris Ariello on the Wilder Fury undercard. But when I got to Staples, that was one of the fights that I missed, man. So, but anyways, Marenzo Smith has been in there with the who's who: Ruiz Jr., Shannon Briggs, Chris Ariola. Who else, man? Joey Abel, Charles Martin. He's been in there with some of everybody, man. Has experience. He's a 40-something heavyweight. Has experience. He's going to box a little bit, hold. He knows how to survive, man. You know, he's one of them type of dudes. Darmani Rock, undefeated kid, 16-0, early 20s. One thing about Darmani Rock that I've been saying since he's turned pro, and I actually did a video when he was an amateur talking about him turning pro when he signed with Rock Nation, or when he turned professional from the amateurs. But the one thing about Darmani, man, now maybe him and his team know something that I don't know. I'm not privy to their camp. I don't have any insider information. I'm just going off what I see with my eyes, all right? He turned pro at 246 pounds. Even when he was 246, I thought he could trim down just a little bit. Because even when I seen him fight in the amateur tournaments, and that tournament he won, the world championships he had won, I was like, man, if he can just slim down, because he has quick hands, he has some pop, he has some good boxing skills, he can move a little bit. The kid has very good skill set. But you go from 246 pounds when you turn pro. He's only been pro for a couple years, and then his last fight he was 289 pounds, and then the fight before that I think he was like 274. So he's just adding on all this weight, man. He's only 6'4", 6'5", something like that. So I'm not understanding it. He's winning, So we can just say, oh, but he's winning though. He's winning though. But I'm just not getting it, man. Now, Andy Ruiz has shown do not judge a book by its cover, right? And we knew that through the history of boxing. But with Darmani Rock, I'm just not getting the all this weight that he's adding. All right. And I know Mr. Boxing, okay, we got guys like Jarrell Miller out there. Yeah, but Jarrell kind of carries his in a different way, you know what I mean, than Darmani, in my opinion. All right. But I would like to see the kid trim down, man. But that's just my opinion. Like I said, maybe him and his team know something that I don't know. All right. So that's pretty much it, man. As far as the heavyweight stuff, I'm going to come back and do some videos. But before I go, man, let me show love to y'all that's showing love to me in this chat section. So let me go up real quick. Um, Let me see what y'all on. Let's see here. Jay Jerk says Spong pulled out. He failed a VADA test. You know what I mean? So that's why he's out to fight with Usyk and Chaz and enter Chaz Witherspoon now. All right. Johnny Todd, what's good, man? Jose Antonio Delgado says it'd be extremely exciting if Usyk fights Wilder and knocks him out. That'd be crazy. It'd turn the division upside down, man. And speaking of Wilder, I purchased my tickets to the Ortiz fight, so I will be at the Ortiz fight. Um, I know they got what's the Mexican cat they got on the card? I forgot his name, man. Oh shit, I got his face in my head, but I can't remember his damn name. But man, I wanted them to add some heavyweights to this card, especially like a guy like Gerald Washington. Man, I think like a guy like Gerald could be added to the card. Somebody like that. Maybe he can try to capitalize on his win against Robert Helenius. Just throw some heavyweights on here, man. You know what I mean? You got the heavyweight champion of the world fighting in the main event. I always think that those fights the co-main should be another heavyweight fight. I've always thought that, man, but we'll see what they add. But hey, man, a trip to Vegas in November, flying from Minnesota, I'll take that all day. You know what I mean? So I'll do some videos when I'm out there, man. I really wanted now had Ruiz versus Joshua been, well, it is in December, but had it been in America, I would have chose that fight over whatever fight Wilder would have had, because I want to see all these guys in person at least once. You know what I mean? So I got to see Ortiz. Well, I'll get to see him again, but I seen him fight Kaufman, Wilder fight Fury. I want to see Fury in person one time and Wilder and all those guys, but uh, I'll be at the rematch. You know what I mean? But I really wanted Ruiz and Joshua rematch to be here in America, man, because I wanted to go to that. But that's neither here nor there, man. I'll definitely be watching it. Yeah, Best, what's good, bruh? He says, hey, Mr. Boxing, salute to you, sir. Salute to you, man. Gear banging was good. So Truth says Hearn should have let Usyk fight Joey DeWeco. Ooh, that'd have been a good one because Joey comes to fight. That dude's not a pushover, man. Bob Grakowski was good. He says, though I'm not a Wilder, he says, though I'm not a Wilder, if he fights Usyk, I will put money that Wilder KOs Usyk easy breezy. In my opinion, it will be one of Wilder's easiest fights ever. Okay, yeah, you said Wilder fan. All right. KP from KC, what it do? He said he will have some success. Talking about Usyk. Agency is stored in the. Boy, you got a crazy name. He says Usyk can take a shot. Not saying he can take Wilder's best though. KP from KC says he's more experienced than Spilka, but that Thor right hand, I know, man, that's just something else, ain't it? Agency is store. I'm gonna call you just agency is store, bro. He says Bill, you can really crack, and he took his very best with no issues. Gassiev caught him with one good hook in their fight, and he took that really well too. True, and he took some shots in the World Series of boxing from some bigger guys. But all those guys that we name, all those shots that he took, Deontay Wilder, bro. And I've been watching the heavyweights, and you guys know how thorough I am with the heavyweights, not just today's heavyweights, but even the heavyweights of yesteryear, 60s and 70s, all the way from Jack Johnson and Joe Louis. All you guys know how I am. Deontay Wilder is one of the hardest punching heavyweights I've ever seen. And all those guys we just named that Usyk took shots from, ain't no Deontay Wilder right hand. You know what I'm saying? Wilder's up there with the Sonny Listons and Mike Tyson's, and I mean, as far as power, bro, George Foreman's, man. I'm not saying he's the hardest puncher, but if you give me a list of group of heavyweights from the history of the sport that can punch the hardest, I'm definitely putting Deontay Wilder on that list. And no disrespect to guys like Gassiev who can crack. Gassiev actually has I thought he had the best left hook at cruiserweight when he was down there. The dude can crack. I actually heard Chris Arreola say that in sparring, in his videos on YouTube, Chris Arreola gave props to Gassiev, saying he's one of the hardest. I believe he said he's the hardest puncher he fought in sparring before. But so yeah, I know them dudes can punch. They ain't no Deontay Wilder though, bro. Uh, Kyle Mate says him and Parker would be a banger. I think Parker would beat him though. That's another good one. Parker and Usyk. Agency says I'm just commenting on Usyk's chin. Steve Inzal Inzalico says Wilder wins KO by the 6th. Jay Jerk says Spence, no broken bones, just lacerations to the face. Full recovery expected to be soon. Man, thank God, man. Thank God. Thank God. Man, that was some man. When I seen that this morning, bro, I was just like, you gotta be kidding me, man. And then, like I said, there's a video that surfaced of the crash. I can't even bring myself to even watch it, man. I can't even bring myself to, even though he'll be all right, I just can't bring myself to watch it. Mike Wilkins says, what's good, fam? What it do, bro? Bob Grabkowski says, any Big Baby Miller updates? I seen Big Baby doing a lot of interviews at the last function. I forgot what fight it was, but I seen him doing interviews saying he'll fight this person and that person, this person, that person. Nothing as of yet, but I'm sure something will come around soon with Big Baby, man. Not Royale says Usyk will get Spilka. Oh, he gonna get that NyQuil treatment, bro? Because Spilka definitely got that NyQuil treatment in that fight in that 9th round. And I actually had Spilka winning that fight. I had him up 4-3-1 on the scorecard. Then he got hit with a right hand. You know what I'm saying? The Beyonder, what's good, man? He says, oh yeah, that's right, a Jagba. A Jagba. Look, on the next video, y'all, I'm gonna do a video about Patar Malas, um, Martin Bacolia Lunga, and I'm gonna talk about a Jagba and his opponent. All right. Mark Wonderlick, what's good? My Utah brother says Utah in the house. Go Utes, right? I'm sure you're a Utes fan. Scotty Longhorn says, damn, bro, I just got the news that Spence got a stroke 5 minutes ago and went into shock and is on life support now. Damn, what the fuck, bro? Can somebody confirm that? Okay, you just said TMZ confirmed it. So for those of you that are going to come in and listen to this video on archive, I'm just reading the comments from Scotty Longhorn. He just said that this allegedly happened 5 minutes ago. And if this is the case, geez, man, fuck. Corey Lee Boxing, what's good, bro? Lewis Hinton, what it do? Yes, agency, I agree, man. Wilder Power is in a class of his own. Corey Lee says, and Wilder has never been in the ring with the Usyk, period. True. But he has been in the ring with people that has good upper body movement. Tyson Fury. He has been in the ring with people that has good, or they were showing to have some good legs in and out, and was showing him different looks and kind of going in and out, southpaw position and Spilka. But has he been in the ring with Alexander? No, he hasn't. You know what I mean? But I would still favor Wilder in that fight. Scrapbook Boxing was good, bro. Y'all go subscribe to Corey Lee Boxing. Go subscribe to Scrapbook Boxing, man. You know what I mean? The boxing spreadsheet. I already know who that is. That's my boy Blood Boxing, man. What's good, Blood? Mr. Shelton says salute to the heavyweight god. I appreciate that, bro. The Dapper Don says Spence is fine. Okay, look, I gotta go. Oh, Mr. Shelton says Scotty Longhorn is a BFTB troll. Okay, and I think that's my first time seeing Scotty Longhorn. That's why I preference what I said by saying, if you guys catch this on archive, man, I'm not saying that that's written in stone. I'm just reading comments from the chat. I have to go, but if y'all saying that he good, man, I'm gonna go do some research, man. But from what the last I heard, Spence was fine. You know what I mean? I know right now it's a very emotional time, and so hopefully spiritually, man, they're able to hold it together. Shout out to my man, 78 Sports TV with that super chat, man. He says, salute, bro. The Longhorn dude is a Spence troll. Fuck you, Longhorn. Come on, man. Come on, y'all, man. If 78 is confirming this, then I know it's true. All right. Now look, uh, again, 78, appreciate that, man. Y'all go, I'm pretty sure y'all subscribe to 78, man. 78 always putting paint where it ain't. You know what I mean? I love listening to 78's content, man. But look, Longhorn, I'm about to do something for you right now. I'm about to go ahead and zap you. Yeah, okay. My death row security got it under control. They went and deleted his comment, man. But that's, trolls, man. A time like this, people want to troll. You dig what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. It it is what it is. You know what I mean? Give me a second, y'all. I gotta do something for my son real quick. Good. All right. But yeah, man, shit. We just had well, it wasn't recently, but I know Paul Williams had went through that when he, what I mean. It's just especially when things happen outside the ring, just unfortunate. Because one thing if something happened in the ring because they're doing their profession, but when there's freak accidents that happen outside the ring, man, it even touches you, touches you even more as a fan. Yeah, Mr. Sheldon, just straight weirdos, man. Straight fucking weirdos. Straight motherfucking weirdos. I would love to see Longhorn. You know what? Have long. Fuck it, man. Take Ortiz out the fight. Put Longhorn in there. Put Longhorn in there with Deontay Wilder. I think he deserves a Wilder right hand for that stupid shit. Doing live productions. What's good, bro? Exactly, Lewis Hinton, man. Bad time to troll a man's life is on the line. It's just stupid. Then he coming across serious. Good thing I prefaced that, man, by saying, hey, I don't know if this shit's true or not, man, because you get a lot of weirdos, childish, trying to just stir up shit. But yeah, y'all, that's all I want to talk about, man. I'm not gonna overcook this. You know what I mean? I don't want this to become dry either. You know what I mean? But just want let me see what Scrapbook said real quick. He says, "Idiots in the chat, fun are allowed in real conversations." Yeah, man. You know what I mean? The Beyonder says Wilder says he will use the same game plan he did in the first Ortiz fight. I'm not an expert, but he seems to use the same plan every fight. Laugh out loud. Yeah, the plan to knock you the fuck out. You know what I mean? And that's another thing people love to say, oh, Wilder's skill, his skill. And I said, hey man, knocking a motherfucker out at a 90 plus percentage, that's skill too. Skill to knock somebody out. That's a skill in itself. That's a skill in itself. To find the openings. It's not like he's just coming there clubbing you, although some of his punches come across, he can club you and still knock you out. That's still a skill itself to find openings, to probe with the jab, throw a stinging jab, a sharp jab, to find the openings to hit you with a right hand. That's skill too. Skill isn't just the fundamental basic skill set they teach you in your first day of going to a gym. You know, yes, that's a fundamental skill, skill set, but you also acquire skills by finding ways to knock people the fuck out, man. You know what I mean? Thought I seen some family up in here. Yes, I did. BFT boxing was good, bruh. Body snatcher returns. Vince, what it do, fam? Loke dog in here as well. But hey, y'all, I've been on here for a half hour, man. I'm not going to draw this out, man. If you guys caught this late, catch me on archives. Also, I'll be doing a lot more basketball videos. I put one up, my Zion Williamson video up earlier. Shout out to Ticket TV. I heard his video about the topic about Shannon Sharp hating on Zion. Hey, man, you got to stop what he does, man. I always hated that, man. Even when I was playing ball back in the day. Oh, man, only thing he do is dunk. Only thing he do is dunk. Stop the shit then. You know what I mean? Man, all he does is make 3-pointers. You have to stop it. And Shannon just taking away from that kid's assets, man. You can't do that, man. You can't do that. I know the league has changed and it's a jump shooting league, and people want to hoist up 3-pointers at an all-time rate, and that's cool. But there's still other skill sets in hoops, man, that you can master and become very effective and be a fucking, 5, 6, 7, 8 time all-star. The mid-range game is not lost in my opinion. You know what I mean? People don't work on it. It's like nowadays, either you're finishing at the rim or you're shooting a three. People the mid-range game got kind of lost in translation over the years, man. It's still there. It's still effective. You still need somebody to be a beast in the paint, right? You don't necessarily have to look. I don't think there's ever going to be more David Robinsons and Akeem Olajuwons, and damn sure gonna be another Shaq. But somebody has to be dominant in the painted area. You still need a present offensively. Somebody could get you some damn buckets down there. Enter Zion Williamson. Even though he's undersized as far as height, he has the leaping ability. He's crafty. He's the second heaviest player in the NBA, but he can move and he's agile north, south, east, west. And he has timing and he's crafty down there. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to my man BFTB with that super chat. Says salute to the heavyweight boxing god. I appreciate that, man. Um, but yeah, man, all he do is dunk. Get the fuck out of Loke Dog said dunk is a skill itself. Yeah, man. I see a lot of big dudes missing dunks. You know what I mean? Wide open dunks, not just dunking over people, missing wide open dunks, missing bunnies. For you don't know what bunnies are, that's little short chip shots in the painted area, 4-footer, little jump hook or little floater. The dude has touch with either hand. And like I brought up in the last video, I seen this kid, the dude can pass, man. The dude's pretty shifty with his ball handling. Uh, he's quick off the handle too. You try to reach, he'll put a quick little in and out on you, spin move behind the back, between the legs, crossover. All right, let me go ahead and get this in there. All right, you can't just, well, fuck it, my face here already. You can't just wake up one day and say, you know what, man, I'm going to wake up and I'm gonna throw full court passes with one hand, with my weak hand, off the dribble too, and find a guy going leaking to the basket and throw a perfect bounce pass full court. You can't just wake up and do some shit like that, man. That is phenomenal. So for him to have that in his repertoire already, Shannon Sharp's hating, man. He's hating. And I'm gonna have my man Vince on here, body snatcher on here to talk about some hoops with me too, man. Yeah, BTB, if you can't stop my dunk, that's all I'm doing. That's like, oh man, all Akeem Olajuwon does is have great footwork in the post. You know what I mean? All he does is do a hesitation dribble, fake to the left, spin move, jump hook. All Kareem does is do the sky hook. Like, come on, man. I've always hated that, man. But hey, y'all, let me see what I really want to hear what or the body snatcher has to say. He says Zion is a beast. If that's all he does, make him do something exactly. He says, why would I do anything else if you allow me to dunk every time? And that's coming from the former Drew League MVP of 2015, my man Vince Camper. But hey, y'all, I appreciate y'all showing up. Like I said, I'm be doing more basketball videos. If that's not your twist, if you don't really like hoops, you just want to listen to me talk about heavyweights, then hey man, don't click on them videos. You dig what I'm saying? But if you like hoops, you enjoy hoops, I'm making a lot of hoop videos, man. It's my first love. It got me a free education. And I still got a little bit left when it comes to hooping too, man. So I'm definitely gonna be doing some hoop videos. I'll put up some more videos of me training people. I've got a couple clients that I train on Thursday and Saturday. Shout out to my man Vince for giving me some game on that and giving me some advice as far as that. You know what I mean? But boxing and hoops, it goes hand in hand, man. You know what I mean? But I appreciate y'all showing up. I'm gone, man. In a minute.